What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. I was asking Spirit, what's the topic today? And the message I got was, imagine these symbols were letters. What do you see? And, well, first of all, I was kind of like, well, there's not really letters here. I guess the best attempt at seeing a word or letters would be this is an L. But yeah, generally, there was a little bit of a pause there, and then I kind of let this word just come out, which was what I'm going to say in a minute. But before I tell you that, I'm going to ask you to see if you see a word from these symbols. Now, the word that I saw was very much linked to this being, what's like, Western characters. Like, I don't know what it's called. Like, like the letters that we use in the West, I guess. The word that came to my mind was inspired by the Western letters that we see on a day-to-day basis if you're in the West. But I want you to, before we start, see if you see anything. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you use letters as I did to find that word. So just pause on that and see if anything comes to mind. So the word that came to my mind was actually gel. Gel as in, the gel like glue, or the gel that people put in their hair. The gel as a substance. And that kind of made me, or inspired me to take this reading towards connections. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It could mean that. But I'm going to call this reading, or maybe I'll call it connection. But the underpins of it is the gelling of a connection. That'd be a friendship, a family relationship, or romantic. So yeah, just to end that introduction, that's what came through. Don't ask me how that became a G. I can see how that became an E, and I can most definitely see how that became an L. But yeah, that's what came through, and I recommend people to sit on that because there might be a little clue for you there. And pat on the back if you're able to take that word or vibration beyond the letters that you're familiar with. So I'll start with pile number 1. As always, we've got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'll start with pile 1s, and I'll see you in your pile. Pile 1s, gelling or connection. Sorry if my if my arm is getting in the way today. I'm a little bit all over the place. I think it's how I've positioned the camera. Some kind of crap on the paper as well. Some food or something. Oh, that makes sense. I just had a soup. What did you guys eat? Part ones, what have you been eating? Just got some soup on your page. That's a first. This is the important bit. Just making sure that I'm in camera. It's all a little bit wonky actually. I apologise, part ones. These are maybe keywords. Messy. There's maybe something messy going on here. Look, there's something. So I'm just gonna kind of explain here the energies that are coming through. It's a little bit bipolar, to be honest. It is a little bit bipolar because there's something quite romantic about this gaze. You know, like without getting too mushy, I'd probably say that these two people are in love. But there's a contradiction, or like there's an elephant in the room, isn't there? And the elephant in the room is that there's a gap in between these two people. And it kind of looks to me like maybe this messiness, this wonkiness, the soup on the page. It's a little bit like a diving board as well, so you know the soup is the pool. But the messiness is maybe that neither of these two parties here are willing to take the leap. There's definitely a gaze between the two of them, but I'd be lying if I said that one of these looks like they're about to jump. They're not. Now, there could be kind of other things going on here, which, you know, there's only so much I can give in these collective readings. There's only so much I can describe. But for example, this might not just be two stubborn characters unwilling to jump. Like, there's not much context here. But to build some context, which possibly could be there, would be something along the lines of maybe these two people have just met. So why would you take some leap to your possible doom of a soup pool when you've just met this person? This is the first gaze, this is the first look. maybe they're conversating before one of them takes the leap. That's kind of one scenario. Another scenario is it's kind of reminded me a little bit of there's a clear one which it could be representing some form of distance between you two. A distance, that might be a physical distance, or like could even be like some form of like barrier between like friends getting in the way, family getting in the way, career getting in the way, something like that. But the other thing that was possibly, or the other scenario I should say, that was maybe coming through was like, if this is for some of you like an ex relationship, if this is kind of like the coming back energy. You never guess what just happened. This maybe this is a first in this way, but I almost saw like a part 2 to this reading. I think to say that it's the first time I've seen kind of movement or animation in the readings would be a lie. That happens quite regularly. Not I won't go as far as saying it's common in the reading that I kind of can visualize it moving. But this is the first time I can actually see the part 2 to this with kind of simple addings or like simple additions to the drawing. So I'm going to stop talking and draw it. So take a photographic memory of what you see here, and I'm going to continue this reading. See, it kind of just completely changed it up. That's kind of what I saw. So this character, the feminine here, this is maybe important now, isn't it? You're kind of getting 2 readings in one. It's a first, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure if I've ever done that before, but scenario wise, let me just finish off that last example I was given. It reminded me a little bit of like a past relationship, like an ex coming in, and the kind of distance there, almost that friction, the pause moment was again, it kind of had that energy to it. So that might resonate to some of you. It's like the leap would be that it's not worked. That's the hole in the middle. It's clearly a mess. It was clearly a mess. That's why it didn't work. And there was kind of a revising or a reminiscing, a remembering of that moment. That's what caused that first image, that first scene. So now we've got something different. This is the part 2. Um, the part two is clearly we've got a masculine and a feminine here, and the masculine is walking towards. And what is quite interesting is that the feminine is not walking towards, but she's opened up. So she's now facing us. She's not facing him. She's facing us. One could deem this as turning away from the masculine, would be fair, but I'm not really getting that energy actually. I'm getting the energy like Spirit was trying to show us that she's opening up, like almost like opening her chest, opening her heart chakra. She's like, does that make sense, Pearl Ones? Like Spirit was showing the scenario like that so we could understand it, basically. Understand it as a representation. So you've got the masculine there who's kind of walking towards the feminine, and we've got the feminine who is without a doubt more standoffish, both feet on the ground, almost bracing themselves, but she's opened her heart, opened her energy. And I think that's quite important here because we're talking, I'm not necessarily getting that from the masculine energy, although the masculine is walking towards the feminine. That could be through curiosity, through just being, I don't know, confident. I'm not necessarily getting the energy from the masculine here that they're walking towards the feminine with an open heart. Do you understand? So I just wanted to make that clear. The feminine, although might seem more standoffish here, has more of an open heart, I feel, to this connection, whatever it may be. So yeah, if this doesn't apply romantically, it could be a friendship, could be something else, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, very interesting reading. It was almost kind of a bit of detective work going on here. I'm not sure if that means anything to you, pile number ones, like almost a little bit Sherlock Holmes energy, kind of discrete clues in this reading, detective work. So yeah, I don't know, this reading after all was kind of based on glue. The only thing that I think that I can leave you with is that it's almost like possibly just to think on whatever this means to you, part ones, is the glue is maybe not with you two. Maybe it's with whatever this thing is. So that could be some words of wisdom for you, pile ones, that maybe the thing that broke this relationship, if it's a returning ex, for example, wasn't your connection. It was actually whatever this thing is, and maybe you're going to know what that is. It's whatever that represents, that gap that was stopping you from possibly being together. And like I said, for friendship too. Whatever that gap was, if it's distance or all those other examples I gave. Pile ones, that's your reading. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. my voice is going past twos, so I pushed myself too far today. Try and zoom through these ones. The glue, all this connection. Leave that. See if I've got more thick pen. Actually, I'll save it today. Let's continue these lines. That's meant to represent the feminine's hair, by the way. You'd kind of get it if it was black. But I'm gonna leave it today. It reminds me a little bit of a lion when it's done that way, actually. So it might be a Leo watching this. Interesting reading. There's something almost quite theatrical about this, slash comedic or like comedy. Something that is quite like a little bit humorous about this, like slightly Charlie Chaplin, although I'd never found that funny really. But there's something, you know, about this which is a little bit kind of jestery or clowning around. That's kind of like so interesting. I didn't understand how these characters were maneuvering around this pole or this rod. But like the first word that comes to my mind, let's just for ease and clarity, say this is the masculine and this is the feminine. There's something really, I think the word is like nonchalant. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that is the word, and I can't think of any other word that explains this character's attitude. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, there's something which even as a masculine reader, sorry for my masculines listening to this, but there's something I don't like about it, which is just a little bit too arrogant, you know. And I don't throw that word out easily. Um, I prefer to use the word confident, even when it's someone I don't really like, because I don't know how they got into that position. I don't like to judge people in that way. Um, and I found that in life, sometimes people get it wrong. Like, sometimes people are so scarred by confidence in their life that they just throw around arrogant to every Dick, Tom, and Harry. They're, they're like, there's traumas around confident people are so embedded that even when they see the real thing, they call it arrogant. That's just my opinion, though. Um, but there's something about this scenario which I've got to call a spade, which is arrogant, because it's not necessarily what this masculine is doing. If he was alone, he's just chilling. And just to give some clarity here, this isn't the masculine looking at the pole. He's looking away. He's looking in this direction. He's not even looking at the pole. And the feminine, you know, is stumbling over just to get to it. So it's almost like it could be some form of race. You know, it reminds me of that. It's like who can get to the pole first. And it's like the dude got there like 10 hours before. And this feminine was trying her absolute best. So that's why I'm putting it into the category of arrogance, is not so much how this masculine is even standing or anything like that. Well, it is, but by himself, he's just a confident guy chilling. But when you add the feminine into this scenario, and the fact that you can see her stumbling over, that she's actually trying, and this masculine isn't even paying attention to that, that's what's making me leading it on to thinking there's some kind of arrogance involved here. So like only you know the inner workings of this, if it's triggering you in some way, or um, you feel like there's something more to this story or to this scenario. Like, for example, let's say what would make sense as well, like how you could spin this story is, let's say if the feminine was talking shit for weeks and weeks on how she's going to win this race, and how this masculine is, I don't know, fat and old now. He's got no chance. And then he touches this pole way quicker than her. Then there's kind of a little bit of an excuse for the arrogance. It's a little bit of a get back. It's a cheeky get back. Do you know what I'm saying? So paint your own picture. Let it fit into your life how it resonates. But yeah, there's definitely some form of like race going on here. So the glue is what you're racing over, possibly. We could like go for the no-brainer here, pole twos, which is what does the ones represent in tarot? It's the fire. And yeah, just maybe even Google that. You might come up with a better description than I do. But it's a few words that come to my mind. It's usually like action, sometimes aggression, passion. Well, everything that you associate kind of with that fire element, really. If this is a romantic connection, It's kind of pointing us in the direction that this passionate side, fiery side, is the glue. And for whatever reason, the masculine just seems to be one step ahead here. Yeah, like I said, this might trigger you if you're a feminine watching this, but that's how the reading's coming through. And there's been many times where the reading's been the absolute opposite, where the feminines had that power. But it seems to me like pretty black and white here. Maybe that's something that you like too, you know? Maybe you like that challenge. Maybe you like the masculine being better at you at certain things. For all I know, you could really like his arrogance as well, or confidence, depending on. It's a funny one because, like I said, I don't really know that. I can't pick up on the context of this. Like, if you if you deserved that, basically, it kind of almost reminds me a little bit. It's a little bit cruel of, you know, when someone's winning the race and they fall into the puddle of mud. You know, it's got that kind of energy to it. And the energy is like, so me picking up on the feminine, it's not like, um, I don't feel like she's getting even humiliated or anything like that. Like, if I was to kind of um, summarize how that feminine might feel, is how the fuck did he get there so quick? That's all that I'm getting from that reading. She's just like, how the fuck did he get there that quick? And like I said, the masculine's just chilling there. I don't even think he cares that she was struggling. Maybe he's been rubbed up the wrong way or something. You know, I'm gonna leave this reading here. I don't want to get into people's business. Actually, I feel like I might be getting into someone's business here, or at least their future business that they don't realize they're getting into. But good luck with this. You know, the positive that you should take away, like I said, is the glue is the fire, the passion. I feel like this is at least a fun relationship here. There's something kind of, like I said at the start, it's humorous. There's some kind of comedy here. There's a cheekiness. There's a cheekiness. And yeah, I am kind of getting, the more that I'm getting into the energy of the reading, I am getting more of the energy of the feminine is throwing it on the masculine too. Like, she's not innocent. She's not just like trying her best here and the masculine's making her look silly. Like, the more that I'm getting into the energy of the reading, call me biased, being a masculine myself, but it's almost a bit of in English we use the word banter. It's kind of like the teasing of each other. Like, you tease each other, you tease your mates, you tease your girl, you tease whoever. We call it banter, at least in London. All right, pile number 2's pleasure reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you took away something valuable from this reading. As always, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. As I always say, you're bonkers if you haven't checked it out already. I've got some paid videos on there which will literally, if you choose the right one, unlock different levels of abundance in your life, if that's romantic, if that's financial, etc., etc. So, pile number 2's thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pile number 3's connection/glue. is so dope how I've seen this reading. I've got no idea how to draw it. Oh, that is dope. I don't know why you did that to me, Spirit. I'm gonna attempt to draw this. It's gonna look a little bit stupid though, okay? I don't even know how to do this. Okay. No way, no way, no way as dope as this was coming through. You know, sometimes I get really excited when I nailed the drawing. This isn't one of those ones. But you know what? It caught it though. It caught the vibe. It just didn't. It didn't catch it how I wanted to. I think I'd need some color for this one as well to really catch the vibe. Something kind of a bit psychedelic about it. So what we're kind of seeing here is we're looking up at these two characters, and they're looking down at us, but they're standing on this kind of puddle, which feels to me to be like psychedelic. It reminds me a little bit of, like, you know, when you put oil into water and it's like rainbow colored. And even these characters, for some reason, they seem like they're fresh out of like the 80s. Is it the 80s? You know, almost like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, early Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of style. I'm not sure if that made it into, like, if that was 90s or I think that was 80s. I could be wrong, but that vibe I think is pretty accurate. You can even imagine the if you're confused to what I'm saying, just Google Fresh Prince of Bel Air logo, and you would even get the color palette that's here. It's that color palette. These two characters could both be in dungarees, for example, masculine and feminine here. And this, yeah, so they're standing on this puddle, um, looking down onto us, and we're looking up at them. It's funny because these were kind of somewhat romantic readings, really, without beating around the bush. I didn't think they were going to be, but they kind of ended up being. This reminds me of the fact that they're looking down, kind of says to me that this is a relationship, this is a connection where you're able, or both parties are able to tap into higher self, basically. Just to make this reading really to the point, that's really what it is. This connection and the glue is that you're able both individually and then somewhat collectively, because you're in this puddle, you're in this peephole of both being able to look, you know, almost like you're both able to look into like the future as well. That I was able, like, that's kind of what I'm getting to. You know, you're both able to, like, without getting too metaphysical or spiritual, you're both able to like timeline hop, you know, you're both able to like portal hop. I'm also getting here you're both able to like break the matrix. I got something really weird just come through from spirit there, which was like, this might not resonate with everyone, because I kind of come from more like the Photoshop era. But in Photoshop, actually, fuck it, even on your mobile phone, you know, there's that. It doesn't matter really. I think if it's iPhone or whatever else, Android. You know, on your phone when you take a photo, and you're able to do this. Okay, I'm messing up the page. But you're able to like rotate it. For some reason, Spirit was giving me that with like reality. You're able to like rotate or pivot reality, but I was getting this in like a lens view. So imagine like looking at your partner. I know this is a bit random what I'm talking about, but this is what was coming through. Imagine looking at your partner and then literally being able to like pivot them in your, I guess, in your third eye or whatever. You're able to like rotate them. I don't know why you would want to do that. But yeah, that's what was coming through. It's like you able to rotate them with your eye. Again, I can't really think of why you would want to do that. I don't know, maybe it's a helpful skill. Maybe architects could use that a little bit. instead of getting this, I don't think I've got one here. I've only got this. This might be meaningful to you, pile number 3. This is like a laser measurer. So when I'm surveying something and I want to know the measurement, I can just laser it. But what I was actually wanted to say to you is like a spirit level, which I don't have one at my desk. But you can, a spirit level, I know there's many people out there who know exactly what I'm talking about, but some of you don't. Spirit level, I've got this Palo of Santo here, so I'll use that as an example. A spirit level is, let's say, you've got this rock here, and let's say this rock is a table, and you want to see if this table is straight. You put the spirit level on top, and it's got a little bubble on it, and it allows you to see if the table's straight. Now, for whatever reason, pile number 3 is, there's some kind of ability that you've maybe got with your partner, as well as seeing into the future and what was the other thing I said? Tapping into higher self. There's almost like this. Do you know what's just really funny? That I've just fucking realized, which is just crazy. Just crazy. Spirit level. It's called a fucking spirit level. This tool is called a spirit level. My mind is just fucking blown. Sorry for swearing so much. It's called a spirit level. Oh my lord. Someone is having an absolute joke with us on this plane. Seriously, talk about the Matrix. It's called a spirit level. I kid you not. I kid you not. Google spirit level, Pal Freeze, if you don't know what I'm talking about. In my whole years, have I never thought of a spirit level as a spirit level? A spirit level. Oh my god. This shit you can't make up. It's called a spirit level. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh my gosh, talk about a clue. Like, my mind is just blown. This is too much for me. This is too much. It's called a spirit level. This skill that you and your your connection has is to level the spirit, which makes complete sense. Well, I'm using this fucking analogy to level the spirit. So that's why you've got that skill of being able to pivot. As I was trying to say, that is crazy. This sometimes feels like a joke to me, this whole life existence. God definitely has a sense of humor. But being able to see your partner in this way, and hopefully it's vice versa, is you're able to level out their spirit. Like talk about superhuman. So if you see, it's like, I guess if we was to like talk this theory into like, your average Joe metaphor, it would be something along the lines of, like your partner comes back from work and something's off with them. The spirit is off. The spirit level detects something is off. Now, I know that you can say there's many psychological cues or emotional cues or physical cues that someone spots and able to see that, but we're talking about spirit here. It's like something probably intuitive that you're able to pick up on, or it's not even intuitive, to be honest. It's like a spiritual sense, slightly different from like the intuition, possibly, that you're able to just gauge. Like, gauge is a very important word here. Gauge. I still can't believe that connection of spirit level. Why do they even call it a spirit level? Because it's leveling. It's leveling, but why is spirit in that word? There's a little bit of liquid in there, so it could be referring to like spirit, like alcohol. That is, my mind's blown. My mind's blown. Pole number 3 is because it kind of just, that analogy kind of just married the point. You know, I'm here trying to rotate the page and blah blah blah. I'm coming up with these analogies, and then the spirit level is basically, it was like the bingo moment. Like to be honest, it was like I went around in a circle to something that was very that God probably saw from the start. Not probably, did. So look, I don't want to continue this. I think there's kind of a lot for you to unpack there. Some of you might know exactly what a spirit level is, and you might have had your mind blown from that moment too. Like you've never thought about that word in that way. Just remember, I think just for me now as well, I'm going to see a spirit level in a completely different way. Everything that a spirit level can do as a tool, we can also do spiritually. The spirit level as a physical tool can be done spiritually, and that's basically talking about balancing and seeing when things are off balance too. So that's just kind of the point 3 of the skills or connections, the gel that you've got with this partner. So I'll just repeat those ones. There's a lot for you to unpack here, pal threes, by yourself, but I'm going to just leave you with those 3 points, which were higher self, seeing higher self individually and through each other, seeing into the future, and being able to spirit level. So like I said, if you don't know what a spirit level is, I really do recommend you Google it so you can see why my mind was blown, because it was literally like me saying talking about something and then comparing it to like it's like me talking about hitting something, and I'm using like a hammer for an example, like how you hit something with a hammer, and I'm looking into what the word hammer actually means, and it's like literally means to hit something in Latin or something. It's a really bad example, but I'm not sure if you guys just got what happened. But my mind is blown, y'all. I need to get some rest. Thank you for being here, pal threes. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. Got some cool paid videos on there. They're just, I kind of, I put the If You Pause name on them. They're about it, so I recommend you check them out when you've got the time, when you feel urged to do so. And for now, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next readings. Take care.